We're going to talk about Antifa. Don't fight in the streets. Okay, let's talk about it. So Stefan Molyneux tweets, I talked about this yesterday. This has to be talked about until it gets in your head. Okay. When the right shows up to fight back, let history remember the left started it. Okay, that's wizardry, Stefan. Stefan, no one knows where you're at. You have a very unplaceable accent. Was it from the underworld, Stefan? So when he says, when the right shows up to fight back, let history remember the left started. Okay, he just set up a non-winning binary. Guys, I put my reputation on the line. Trust me, that's wizardry. Okay? As someone, I'm not anti-Semite, I'm anti-Wizite, nigga. So he's trying to say, because there are blue-haired, indebted, non-binary college kids, quote unquote, who have such a bleak future, they're on legal speed. And why wouldn't they become socialist? They're wearing little masks from Toys R Us, and they want to overturn society because society fucked them over. The boomer's like, how dare you? How dare you not go out there and get a job, even though the jobs all went to other countries because we're greedy fucks. Okay. So when he says, when the right shows up, just remember the left started it. Okay, you're now engaging in a binary where no one wins except the people that aren't fighting in the streets. 100% wizardry. 100%. If you engage with the pigs, and I mean that, slop. Antifa are cannon fodder, guys. It's kind of like when a dog, like when you break up a dog fighting ring, and you got all these just like fucked up dogs. They're half bit up. They're like pit bulls. Do you just go, I gotta fight that dog in the streets? No, it's a tough decision. You think about what to do. You're like, you're just like, just avoid. Maybe something has to be done in the future. You have to face some very tough realization. But if you just go in the streets with your little shield and your little plastic sword and you start LARPing, live action role play, no one wins. You're feeding the man of many faces. The media will take and pick whatever they want. Guys, the future will be very violent, okay? My childhood was way more violent, and so are a bunch of you guys' than what these kids in the streets currently had. When I was 9, my neighbor shot me in the eye with a BB gun. A piece of glass went in my eye. I had a patch over my face for 3 days. No, more like 5 days. I looked like that gay pirate in Congress, whatever that little fuck face's name. He looks like a penis. Everyone called me gay pirate and kicked me in the shin. That's why I know it's such a hurtful insult. I remember going into my 8th grade dance. The toughest kid in school and me got in a fist fight, and he broke my nose, and blood got all over my shirt, but I still went into the dance because I didn't want to look like a pussy. And now we're still friends, even though I think he's in prison. This is just like one of my buddies and me, we're fighting over what racket to use because we're both borrowing his dad's rackets. They were Jehovah's Witness. We used to call him Slavery because he couldn't celebrate Christmas and everything. His last name was Avery, so we'd say Slavery. And he put my tooth through my lip. You see how my lip is indented here? See where it goes down like that? 25 years later, I still have scars on my face from some of these things. I dislocated his shoulder. Bad. Big body slam. And we're fine. It's not, and now these kids they're not allowed, no one fights in school now. There's no fist fights, there's no release, there's no masculinity, nothing. So it's building until you have a Canadian atheist bald guy in his little white egg, whatever the fuck he shoots in. He's like, when the right shows up to fight back, let history remember the left started it. Hey, Stefan, you first, buddy. Why don't you go on the street and you throw down? Just to let you guys know, this is live action role play. If anybody actually wants to commit a crime like that, don't talk about it on the internet. Don't leave any of that. And don't do it anyway. It's stupid. They're trying to make you think. That's why you need the Bible. You need it, guys. You need it. Stefan Molyneux is high IQ, high empathy, family-oriented guy who's looking for truth, all that stuff. Without God in the Bible, you can't survive this. This is a time of great deception. Great deception. And so they want to make you react. They want to get someone who claims to be on the right. By the way, me and Stefan Molyneux are not. He's a globalist, free trading atheist from Canada with no hair, who's 5'6", with an accent not from anywhere around here. He's a foreigner. Definitely getting paid by the hats of the small. So if he wants to make young people who feel alienated, you know, you got these like incel guys on legal speed with a lot of debt. People will see a guy like Molyneux. And I mean this is not responsible stuff that he's doing here. This is bad. This is very, very bad. To set up, when the right shows up to fight back, let history remember the left started. Okay, there's another thing called God. Okay, there is no right and left. Those are two wings of the same eagle. Okay? There is no left and right. Me and Stefan Molyneux are not politically aligned. I'm on the right. So you're just going to get a bunch of right-wingers serving Ben Shapiro and Dennis Prager, who now claim to be followers of Muhammad, peace be upon him, just to fit in because they're so terrified. You know, Lawrence Southern. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're going to get these people in the street fighting with college kids in debt on legal speed, and you call that saving Western civilization? That's retarded. You want to stand up to this stuff? You stand up in your mind, your heart, and your logos, your word every day. You say the truth. Stefan Molyneux did a whole video called Don't Blame the Banksters. He never calls out Jews, ever. You know, it's the dog that does not bark. It's just the left, you know, the left socialists. What about Zionists? What about the other side of the wing of the eagle? You have socialism and Zionism. We will jubilee your college debts as long as the women agree to never vote again and the men agree to get married. Am I saying Stefan wants conflict? Of course Stefan wants conflict. Of course he does. He's created a binary that can't get out without conflict. Are you the left or are you the right? Well, seeing as they're both half wrong, either one you pick will result in street violence, which will result in martial law, that will result in a loss of your ability to own land or have, it's obvious. And he fucking knows that. He's got to know that. The answer is living a moral life. You have to pray. You have to follow, you have to try as hard as you can to chase the devil out of earth, because you have no ability of seeing or speaking if you haven't tried at all to eliminate sin from your life. Like, you have to have a moral code. You have to have family. And the real world is dripping with beauty and logos and everything. That guy serves the Jew bankers. It's obvious. It's the dog that doesn't bark. So everyone's to blame except the Jew bankers, Stefan, except the people. Your gross national product can never exceed compound interest rates. Ever. What you produce, what your labor and your value produces, can never claw out of the sand of usury. Everybody that's crunched the numbers knows that, and every minute that ticks by, it gets worse. So the fact he made a video called Don't Blame the Banksters, yeah, I'm pretty sure he takes money from Jew bankers.